program, and then we'll take questions from the media.
Sure. It's been about as smooth a start for us as I probably could have hoped for with the coaching change and a new team. Our players have been unbelievably receptive to our coaching staff and our style and what we're asking them to do every day. Have bought in with both feet and are a joy to coach. I think we've made a lot of progress. We have a long ways to go, but we've made a lot of progress in a shorter amount of time. And I'm just really excited now that we've been able to start practice here on a daily basis, for us to be able to see some growth on a daily basis, getting a little bit better every single day. We have a great group of some upperclassmen. We have 4 juniors and 1 senior who have taken on some really good leadership responsibilities for us. As far as, with me, everything's new for everybody, so it's a little bit different. But their work ethic and how they go about practice has been terrific for our freshmen and even some of our sophomores who are maybe new to the level or the intensity that we're asking them to do some things. They're getting out of their comfort zone a little bit, but are all buying in and doing a great job with it.
Kind of some key things you guys need to do in year one, and then just kind of some transitions you've had to deal with in year one on the job? Yeah,
I think, we're trying to build a foundation this year for our program. And in that foundation is really how we want to play, how we want to practice. We had a meeting the other day and talked about when people watch us, when fans come and watch us, when other teams compete against us, what do you want them to say about you when you're done? And so just being able to talk about those things, about who we actually want to be, and then making an effort to actually do some things every day to make it that way. So that's going to be big, just establishing, our culture throughout this year. We have 9 freshmen and sophomores, so we have some kids that are going to be in our program here for some time. And the faster we can get that foundation set, the faster we'll have some more success.
Coach, you mentioned the foundation, and I know you said 9 sophomores and freshmen combined, but with Michelle, Riley, Nundell, Sophia, Emily, you mentioned your juniors, your 4 juniors, and that is that kind of the foundation you're looking for? Because most of those girls were young last year, getting into new roles. Now they're kind of the ones leading the team, and how's that kind of been, and how much does that really help?
Yeah, like I said, their work ethic has been phenomenal. And they've all had success on their own at one time or another in this league in the last year. Michelle obviously is a proven scorer in the Summit League and is as good a shooter as I've had. Emily Dietz is going to make a giant jump this year for us. She played a significant role last year, but I think is much more confident in herself, just as maturing as a young woman and getting into to being an upperclassman. She'll be somebody that we'll be able to go to a lot more often. Sophia only played a semester last year, so her comfort level here and in the league is going to go up quite a bit. And then Riley, that you mentioned, is the consummate senior. Not very vocal, probably doesn't stand out in any area, but she's very good at everything, and is such a great role model for those younger players. That she benefits us in more ways than what she scores and rebounds and those kind of things.
With that foundation, do you feel like those 4 can really help this team kind of turn the corner right there? They got a bunch of experience last year. Now they know how tough the league is. I know that what they need to do, and they can help lead the younger ones. And do you feel this? I know it's only year 1, but do you feel this team can turn a corner, run away here in your first year, and maybe make a push maybe better than the last couple of years?
Well, I think there's no question. If you look at the roster from last year, I don't know if there was 8 or 9 on the roster for a majority of the season, and people playing injured. So that was a mess that wasn't, there's some things there you can't do anything about. The fact that we have a full roster, that we're fully competitive in practice every day with those guys coming back, I expect us to be way more competitive this year right off the bat, just having some returners that are healthy, and then an influx of some younger players that we think are pretty talented.
You mentioned Michelle and being a proven scorer. And what are you kind of looking for out of this year? Do you feel she can score a little bit more, or what are you kind of looking for to improve on?
Well,
this
we're going to
year?
ask Michelle to continue to score. That's what she does well. We're going to try to put her in as many of those positions as possible. Michelle's also somebody that's got to improve in some other areas of the game. Defensively and being able to move the ball and those kind of things are things we've talked about with her. It's real simple in practice. When she gets a look, everybody in the gym thinks it's going in, and it does most of the time. She's going to draw a lot of attention. And for her being able to play through that and how to continue to get looks and continue to help us when she's drawing all that attention is going to be a big key for her and a big growth, for her.
Coach, what would you say you want the identity of this team to be?
That we're just super tough, that you don't like playing against us, that you feel like when you're done, that was just a really hard game. In a nutshell, that's what I'd like it to be. You get that way through just playing as hard as you can play and paying really close attention to the details. That's something I think it's been a little bit of change for our group, is just the attention that we want on certain things, being able to do things a certain way over and over again, regardless if you're fresh or if you're tired, and just holding them to that standard is an area where we're trying to get better every single day.
Coach, this is your first year with North Dakota State. You were assistant last year at Kansas. You were seated on the sidelines as an assistant. What's your personality going to be like this season now that you'll be able to stand for a little bit on the sideline?
Well, it was hard last year being an assistant again after being a head coach for 8 years. They needed to put a seatbelt on my seat because I kept wanting to get up and coach them like crazy last year. So that was difficult. It'll be, I don't know. When I coach, I'm pretty into the game. We'll be up and down, and I'm usually pretty vocal, and it's fun for me. That's how I get to compete at my age, is coaching, and I want our players to feel like I'm in there with them. If I could get up and down with them, I would.
Coach, what is something you think you learned at Kansas that you can bring to this NDSU team?
Yeah, last year at Kent was a great experience for me. I'd been at Division II for my entire career. The biggest thing that's helped me here as a head coach was just being on a Big 12 staff, how that recruiting was set up, how that coaching was set up, how it was organized, and responsibilities delegated to assistant coaches, and how it works with a basketball ops and some of those things you just don't have at the lower levels. So really, the basketball is the same. The basketball wasn't any different from Division II than it was to the Big 12. You're trying to guard the same things. You're trying to do. Players are different, obviously, but the game's the game. And this year, that experience helps me just organizing what we're doing every day, organizing our staff, and those kind of things.
Coach, how much growth are you looking for out of this team that kind of struggled last season? Like, how much better do you think this team can be this year?
I think we can be significantly better. Just going back to having a full roster right now and being able to be competitive in practice every day is going to. Now, what that translates to as far as win-loss record, I couldn't tell you. But I know that we will be significantly better and more competitive in this season than they were able to last year, just given bodies and roster makeup. We have some young players that are going to make an impact this year. That is going to be terrific for them. They're going to get some playing time as freshmen, and sophomores are going to be playing, which obviously bodes well for the future and making a transition next year to hopefully being much more competitive.
Questions? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.